The story begins with a colossal titan breaking through Shiganshina district. Eren is shocked as he witnesses the giant titan towering over the wall. Meanwhile, the scene shifts back to the Survey Corps in the forest outside the walls, where the group charges toward the titan using their ODM gear. Erwin motivates his soldiers to fight with everything to prove humanity's strength. Meanwhile, Mikasa tries to wake Eren, and Eren feels as though he has just woken from a long dream. He is surprised to see Mikasa with long hair. Mikasa asks why he is crying, but Eren is unaware that he has been crying. As they head to their house, Eren asks Mikasa not to tell anyone about his crying. Mr. Hannes overhears their conversation and starts teasing Eren. Eren notices that Mr. Hannes and his fellow soldiers have been drinking and becomes angry at them for neglecting their duty to watch the walls for titans. One of the soldiers assures him that there has not been a Titan attack in 100 years, but Eren dismisses the reason as pathetic and compares the lives of humans to caged animals. As they continue walking, Mikasa urges Eren to abandon his idea of joining the Survey Corps. They hear a loud announcement that the Survey Corps has returned from outside the walls. Eren becomes excited to see the returning heroes and takes Mikasa along with him. His excitement fades when he sees that only a few members have returned with severe injuries. The returning members of the Survey Corps look devastated, with their eyes filled with darkness. A woman suddenly rushes toward the group asking about her son. The commanding officer hands her a severed hand, which is the only part of her son that remains. The woman breaks down in tears and asks if her son's death was useful to their cause. She questions if her son's sacrifice brought humanity closer to defeating the Titans. The commanding officer falls to his knees and admits to the crowd that their expedition achieved nothing. He confesses that his incompetence led to the deaths of his men. One of the onlookers expresses frustration and complains that their taxes are being wasted. Eren becomes furious and throws a rock at the man, hitting him on the back of the head. Mikasa quickly drags Eren away and throws him against a building. She asks if his feelings about joining the Survey Corps have changed. Eren pauses for a moment and avoids the question by asking Mikasa to help him pick up the scattered wood. They return home to find Eren's father, Dr. Yeager, and his mother, Carla Yeager. Mikasa shocks the family by revealing Eren's plans to join the Survey Corps. His mother becomes terrified and objects to his decision. His father asks why Eren wants to go outside the walls. Eren explains that he does not want to spend the rest of his life inside the walls being ignorant of the outside world. He passionately declares his desire to continue the work of those who sacrificed their lives so their efforts would not be in vain. In response, Dr. Yeager reveals a key hanging from a string around his neck and tells Eren that he will finally show him the room in the basement when he returns. Eren's mother insists again that he must not join the Survey Corps and requests Mikasa to watch over Eren. Meanwhile, Armin is being bullied by a group of boys, and Eren suddenly arrives to defend him. The bullies decide to target Eren instead, but quickly run away when they see Mikasa behind him. Eren assumes they ran away because of him, but Armin corrects him and explains that they fled because of Mikasa behind him. Armin reveals that the reason for the bullying was his claim that humans would eventually need to go outside the walls. Their conversation is interrupted by an earthquake. The three friends rush back to the town and are horrified to see a colossal titan standing taller than the wall itself. Eren is shocked as the Colossal Titan breaks through the wall, allowing smaller titans to enter. The Colossus Titan continues to destroy the outer gate of Shiganshina district and creates a massive hole in the wall. The three of them struggle to endure the deafening sound of the attack and the pieces of debris flung onto houses. The people are horrified by the sight and begin running for their lives. Armin shouts in panic that they must leave Shiganshina before the Titans arrive. Eren runs in the opposite direction after remembering his mother. Both Eren and Mikasa rush back home, while Armin stays behind, frozen in despair after losing all hope. Eren sees the destruction in the residential areas and immediately begins to worry about his mother. When they reach their home, Eren sees that a boulder has crushed their house. He finds his mother pinned under the rubble. Eren and Mikasa desperately try to pull her out. Suddenly, they notice Titans approaching, which drives Eren into complete desperation. Carla realizes that the Titans have entered the town and pleads with Eren to take Mikasa and run away. Eren refuses and continues trying to save her. Carla reveals that her legs are crushed, and even if they free her, she will not be able to run. She screams at him to listen to her final request. Suddenly, a female Titan slowly approaches towards their position. Hannes arrives and attempts to save them. Carla begs him to take the children away, but Mr. Hannes decides to fight the Titan and save all three of them. As Mr. Hannes charges toward the Titan, he suddenly freezes after seeing its horrifying appearance. He withdraws his weapons and grabs the children, carrying them away. Carla expresses her gratitude, while Eren protests, insisting they can still save his mother. Carla recalls the moments she spent with her family and starts to tell them not to leave, but she stops herself by forcing to close her mouth. The Titan picks her up, and just before it devours her, Mikasa turns her gaze away while Eren watches in shock. The Titan crushes Carlo with its teeth, and Eren attacks Mr. Hannes in anger, hitting him on the back of his head. Hannes throws Eren to the ground, and Eren angrily insists that with more time, his mother could have been saved. Mr. Hannes delivers the harsh truth that Eren was simply not strong enough to save her. He admits that even he lacked the courage to face the Titan and asks for their forgiveness. Eren breaks down in tears, while Mikasa begins to feel a headache. Afterward, Eren and Mikasa are seen among a large crowd of refugees trying to reach safety. Meanwhile, military officials debate whether they should close the gate or not. Their debate is cut short when an armored Titan crashes through Wall Maria. The people are devastated as they realize humanity might be devoured by the Titans. The gravity of the situation hits Eren when he understands that he can never return home or see his mother again. He feels pathetic as he realizes the weakness of humanity and vows to erase every single Titan from the world. 5 years later, in the year 850, humanity is forced to abandon Wall Maria due to their unpreparedness against the Colossus Titan and seeks protection inside Wall Rose. At the graduation ceremony for the 104th Training Corps, a military official explains the 3 branches from which the graduates can choose. The first is the garrison, who is responsible for reinforcing the walls and protecting the towns. The second is the Scout Regiment, who risk their lives outside the walls to engage against Titans and also gather information. The final branch is the King-controlled military police brigade, tasked with regulating the population and maintaining order in the interior. The graduates are given an entire daytime to choose their preference. Meanwhile, in the mess hall, John and Marco celebrate making it to the top 10, which makes them eligible to join the military police brigade. Marco speaks about the honorable opportunity to work close to the king, but John reveals their real motivation is to escape the dangers of the frontline towns and live in the peace and comfort of the interior. John asks others about their preferred branch, but most trainees avoid answering into silence. Bertolt and Annie mention their plans to join the military police as well, but Annie makes it clear to John that she is different from him. John's comments irritate Eren, who points out that the town they are living in now used to be part of the interior until 5 years ago. Mikasa tries to stop Eren from arguing further, but John recalls how 20% of the human population was sent to reclaim territory from the Titans, only for all of them to be eaten. John expresses his belief that humanity has no chance against the Titans, but Eren refuses to give up and shares his dream of exterminating all Titans so he can explore the world. John mocks Eren, saying no one agrees with his view, and Eren counters by saying having John on the front lines would lower morale. Tensions rise, and the two exchange blows. John taunts Eren, saying that he has no chance against Titans if he struggles against a human. Eren retaliates with a powerful kick to John's stomach, and their fight continues until Mikasa intervenes. She picks up Eren and carries him on her shoulder. John shouts that Eren is lucky to have Mikasa carrying him around. Mikasa carries Eren outside the building and throws him down. She reveals her intention to join the Scout Regiment, but Eren insists she should join the military police since she is the top of the class. Mikasa explains that she will join the same division as Eren because he would die quickly without her. She reveals that she does not want to lose any more family. Armin steps outside and informs them of his decision to join the Scout Regiment. Eren suggests Armin join the Technician Division since he excels in academics, but Armin remains firm in his choice. Soon after, they spot Mr. Hannes and salute him. Hannes expresses his regret for failing to save Eren's mother, but feels happy to see them after 5 years. He reveals that before any of them were born, his wife and many others in the town had fallen ill. Dr. Yeager delivered the antibody that saved everyone, and Hannes had always wished to repay him. Hannes admits he has been unable to find Dr. Yeager's location and asks Eren if he remembers anything. Eren tries to recall his father's last known location as he was the last to see him, but collapses with a headache. A brief flashback shows Dr. Yeager trying to inject something into Eren's arm as he struggles. Eren wakes up in his dorm, unable to remember what happened after his collapse. His friends gather around him, worried, and ask if he is all right. In the outermost town, more people begin visiting the frontline town. This surprises Eren, and Hana reminds him that life has been peaceful for the past 5 years. Franz hopes aloud that the Colossus Titan is gone for good. Eren responds to their foolish optimism with his usual fiery temper and calls them a stupid couple. Both Hana and Franz blushingly deny being a couple. Later, while standing on top of the Trost wall, Eren learns that Connie has decided to join the Scout Regiment as well. Connie explains that he made this decision because he does not want to be in the same division as John and not because he was inspired by Eren's speech. Thomas assures him that lacking the courage to do what must be done is nothing to be ashamed of. Sasha joins and shows them a ration of meat she stole from the officer's provisions. She offers to share it with them. Despite their initial hesitation and fear of the consequences, the others agree to take her up on the offer. Eren thinks back to the day 5 years ago when he spent time with both Armin and Mikasa, talking about venturing into the outside world. Suddenly, the Colossus Titan appears and the steam from the Titan blows Eren and his companions off the wall. They recover using their ODM gear, but Samuel suffers a forehead wound from a piece of debris and gets knocked unconscious. Sasha quickly goes after him and saves him with her ODM gear. The Colossus Titan destroys the district wall, and Eren recalls the day his mother was devoured by a Titan. He takes charge and coordinates the group for a counterattack against the Colossus Titan. Eren knows that the Colossus is the only Titan capable of breaking the wall, and that humanity's future depends on their next actions. He quickly maneuvers up the wall and comes face to face with the Titan. The Colossus Titan tries to attack Eren with its hand and destroys all the cannons on the wall. Eren uses his ODM gear to dodge the attack and climbs up the Titan's arm. As he moves, he notices that the Titan is not attacking randomly, but is deliberately targeting the cannons. He concludes that unlike other Titans, the Colossus Titan may possess intelligence. Eren charges toward the Titan's weak spot on the back of its neck, but the Titan suddenly emits a burning gas from its body. Despite this, Eren refuses to give up and continues his attack. As the smoke clears, Eren realizes that the Titan has already disappeared, leaving behind only smoke and 2 large footprints, just like it did 5 years ago. Eren regroups with his comrades, who were paralyzed with fear during the encounter. Suddenly, a member of the garrison vanguard arrives and informs the trainees that the Colossus Titan strategy has begun. He orders those who made physical contact with the Titan to report to headquarters. The bell rings, signaling another Titan attack, and all the citizens begin evacuating to the inner walls. Everyone learns that Scout Regiment out on exploration duty, and that the garrison soldiers are the only military force available to counter the Titans. Mikasa overhears Franz comforting Hannah and notices Eren with Armin. Armin begins to panic, fearing that the Titans could eradicate humanity at any moment, and starts shaking nervously. Eren urges him to calm down, and Armin eventually regains his composure. The trainees are given instructions and divided into 3 groups. The front guard is assigned to the garrison, while the middle guard is given to the trainees, and the rear guard serves under the garrison's elite. They are reminded of their commitment and warned that deserting in the face of the enemy is a capital offense, and urged to sacrifice their lives if necessary. John despairs over the attack happening just 1 day before he was set to join the interior. He notices a trainee vomiting, and Historia tries to comfort him. Mikasa tells Eren to find her if things go badly in battle. Eren reminds her that they are on different squads, but Mikasa insists that things will not go by the book and promises to protect him. A senior officer orders Mikasa to join the rear guard, but Mikasa argues that her skills are better suited elsewhere. Eren headbutts her and angrily reminds her that humanity is on the brink of extinction and that she cannot impose her own rules during a crisis. Mikasa apologizes for getting carried away and makes one final request for Eren not to die. Eren reflects on the teachings from the trainee classroom. The trainees learn that Titans lack sexual organs, and their modes of reproduction remain a mystery. The Titans show no interest in eating creatures other than humans, yet they have survived without humans for 100 years. Their ability to heal from devastating wounds stands out, as they can regenerate their heads completely within 1 to 2 minutes. The only way to kill a Titan is by attacking the nape of its neck, which requires mastery of ODM gear. Both Armin and Eren feel hopeful that they can finally contribute to humanity's fight against the Titans. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the present, where Eren and Armin see this as an opportunity to prove themselves before applying for the Scout Regiment. Eren encourages Armin, believing they can rise through the ranks quickly if they start practicing now. Other trainees express interest in joining the Scout Regiment and suggest a Titan hunting contest to see who can slay the most Titans. As they search for Titans, they suddenly encounter an abnormal Titan. The Titan lunges forward and Thomas is caught in its mouth. Eren watches in horror as Thomas is swallowed. Eren gets enraged and recklessly charges at the Titan. Suddenly, the second Titan jumps up and bites Eren's leg, causing him to fall onto a rooftop with his leg severed. Armin freezes in shock as he sees Eren bleeding. Other trainees attempt to fight the Titans, but Mina's ODM wire gets caught and she gets knocked unconscious against a building. The Titan captures the remaining trainees, and Armin watches helplessly as his teammates are devoured. A nearby Titan takes advantage of Armin's trauma and grabs him. Armin's body refuses to move as the Titan lowers him into its mouth. Eren, seeing his friend in danger, recalls a childhood memory where Armin excitedly shows him a book about the outside world. He gets empowered by Armin's dream of leaving the walls. Eren picks himself up and rushes to save his friend. Inside the Titan's mouth, Eren grabs Armin and throws him outside before he is swallowed. Eren attempts to escape, refusing to accept death with so much left to accomplish. He expresses his desire to see the outside world, but is bitten down by the Titan, losing his left arm. Armin watches in terror as the Titan swallows Eren. Meanwhile, in the distance, Mikasa stares in the direction of her friends with an uneasy feeling. Meanwhile, at the top of the wall, the troops unleash a volley of cannon fire to stop the approaching Titans. The attacks do little damage, and the Titans begin regenerating. The advance team is already wiped out by the Titans, and moments later, a Titan breaches the town. Soon, the entire town is flooded with Titans. Connie tries to bring him back to his senses and repeatedly asks about the members of his squad. Armin suddenly remembers how his squad members and Eren were devoured by Titans. He starts shouting, and Ymir comments that rescuing Armin is not worth it, since she believes he is a loser. Connie becomes furious and lunges at her, but Historia intervenes and calms him down. Ymir pulls Historia close to her shoulder and licks her hair. She jokingly asks Historia to marry her after the mission is over. Armin eventually gets up and decides to join the rearguard. Armin tries to make sense of the situation and reflects on how the weak ones are always consumed by the strong. He recalls being bullied by a group of kids and how both Eren and Mikasa came to his rescue. He wishes to be as strong as his friends. Suddenly, his ODM gear malfunctions and he falls to the ground. He blames himself for Eren's death and feels overwhelmed with guilt. Armin hears Hannah crying and sees her desperately trying to save Franz. He is horrified to see Franz without his lower body, and Hannah continues her futile attempts to save him. Armin breaks down completely and pleads with her to stop. In another part of the town, chaos erupts as citizens fight among themselves in the confusion. A merchant blocks the gate with his oversized wares and refuses to let the citizens pass. He insists that his merchandise is more valuable and must go through first. Suddenly, an abnormal Titan charges toward them at high speed. Others try to stop the Titan, but fail to catch up. Mikasa overtakes the Titan and kills it instantly. She is surprised to see that no one is evacuating and reminds them that her comrades are dying to ensure their safety. The merchant coldly responds that it is the soldier's job to die for the town and threatens to report her to her employer. Mikasa, with a dead expression, remarks that a corpse cannot file complaints. The merchant immediately orders his men to move the carrier, and the refugees are finally able to escape. A mother and her daughter thank Mikasa for saving them. A senior officer observes Mikasa and praises her skill. He notices how natural she is when it comes to killing, and wonders how she remains so calm in life and death situations. Mikasa recalls her childhood in the year 844. Her mother bandages her arm and tells her to pass down the symbol of their clan to future generations. Mikasa innocently asks her mother how to make a baby. Her mother avoids the question and tells her to ask her father. Her father awkwardly tries to avoid answering and hears a knock at the door. Outside the door, Eren stands with his father, who knocks and prepares to introduce his son to Mikasa. He hopes they will get along since there are few children in the area. When no one answers the door, Dr. Yeager grows concerned and lets himself in. As the door opens, he sees the lifeless bodies of Mikasa's parents. Dr. Yeager is shocked to find both Mikasa's parents are already dead and asks Eren if there is a girl named Mikasa nearby. He decides to contact the military police and to request a search party to find her. Dr. Yeager tells Eren to wait at the base of the mountain, while Eren stands in shock at the sight of the dead bodies. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to a cabin in the forest where Mikasa is tied up inside. She feels extremely cold as two kidnappers discuss selling her for a small fortune on the black market. They notice that Mikasa is an Asian, and one of the kidnappers becomes furious at the other. He is angry that Mikasa's mother was killed, as she could have fetched a higher price for being a pure Asian. The second kidnapper tries to explain that Mikasa's mother fought back, and he had no choice but to kill her. Mikasa recalls the moment when her father was stabbed by one of the kidnappers. Both Mikasa and her mother were horrified to see it happen. Mikasa's mother immediately picked up a knife and tried to attack the kidnappers. She kept telling Mikasa to run away, but Mikasa was frozen in shock. Suddenly, one of the kidnappers struck down Mikasa's mother. With her dying breath, Mikasa's mother urged her to run, but she died before Mikasa could move. Mikasa stood in shock at the sight of her parents' lifeless bodies. The scene shifts back to the present as Mikasa remembers her mother's words to run away. She thinks about how cold it is and feels like she cannot survive without her parents. Suddenly, Eren arrives at the cabin. The kidnappers are shocked to see a boy, and one of them angrily questions Eren about how he found the place. Eren lies that he got lost in the woods, and the kidnapper warns him to be cautious in the forest. Without warning, Eren pierces the kidnapper's throat with a knife and pulls it out with a serious expression. He glares at the second kidnapper and slams the door on him. The second kidnapper kidnapper runs to the door and opens it, only to find nothing. Eren appears out of nowhere with a spear and strikes the kidnapper in the shoulder. He pulls out the knife and jumps onto the kidnapper, stabbing him multiple times until he is dead. Eren feels it is natural for the kidnappers to die for killing innocent people. He tells Mikasa to relax, as they are now safe. He cuts off her ties and reveals that he is the son of Dr. Yeager. Suddenly, Mikasa remembers that there were 3 kidnappers. The third kidnapper walks out and sees his friends already dead. Eren reaches for the knife, but the kidnapper kicks him and grabs him by the neck. The kidnapper is furious that Eren killed his friends. Eren keeps shouting for Mikasa to fight and warns that they will die if they do not fight back. Mikasa picks up the knife but starts shaking nervously. She cries and feels like she cannot fight. Suddenly, she remembers how her father once killed a bird for food and understands that the world is cruel. In that moment, her body stops trembling and she feels like she can do anything. She lunges at the kidnapper and stabs him through the chest. After some time, the police arrive at the cabin and are shocked to see that all the kidnappers were killed by 2 children. Dr. Yeager hugs Eren and feels worried about him. He knows that Eren was lucky this time. Mikasa quietly asks where she should go as she feels cold and has no home left. Eren wraps his scarf around her and tells her to keep it. She feels warm with the scarf, and Dr. Yeager offers to take her in to live with their family. Eren insists that she come to their house, and Mikasa begins crying uncontrollably. The scene shifts back to the present as Mikasa kills a Titan. The evacuation bell starts ringing, and Mikasa feels like she can do anything as long as she has Eren with her. Meanwhile, the headquarters building that holds all the supplies is surrounded by Titans. The soldiers inside the building have lost their will to fight, and one of them smiles faintly as he holds a gun to his throat and ends his life. Mikasa approaches the area and notices a group of soldiers arguing among themselves. She does not understand why they are not scaling the wall and sees that the building with the supplies is completely covered by Titans. John feels disheartened knowing they cannot climb the wall due to running out of gas and understands why the soldiers inside the headquarters have given up hope. Connie tries to encourage the others to fight the Titans so they can replenish their supplies and explains that they cannot escape with the little gas they have left. John agrees with Connie but lacks confidence in their ability to kill all the Titans with the small squad they have left. He guesses that the headquarters is already overrun with smaller Titans, making it impossible to move around inside. Connie refuses to believe John's assumption, and John begins to feel even more defeated, thinking about how boring his life has been. Despite his doubts, he decides to fight anyway, knowing they might die regardless. Sasha also tries to motivate the group, but no one responds to her. She turns to Armin, hoping to convince him at least. Meanwhile, Reiner suggests waiting until the Titans gather in one place, but Marco doubts they have any chance against the Titans. Suddenly, Mikasa arrives and asks about Eren's squad. Reiner points out Armin, who is sitting nearby looking distraught. Mikasa notices Armin's sadness and approaches him. Armin struggles to explain what happened and feels sad to even look at her. Mikasa asks about Eren and looks around hoping to see him nearby. Armin begins crying uncontrollably, and Mikasa is shocked after realizing something might happen to Eren. Armin reveals that 5 members of his squad, including Eren, carried out their mission and died bravely in battle. The news stuns everyone, and Mikasa tells Armin to calm down. She knows this is not the time to be overcome with emotion and decides to fight the Titans, even if she has to do it alone. She declares that she is the strongest among them and tries to inspire the others by saying she can kill the Titans by herself. She calls them pathetic and mocks them for sitting idly while she fights. Mikasa knows she will die if she does not fight and believes that winning is the only way to survive. She tells them they cannot win if they do not fight. John understands that Mikasa is trying to ignite their spirits and declares that they cannot let one of their comrades fight alone. The group becomes motivated and charges to attack the Titans. Mikasa kills one of the Titans, and Connie is amazed at how fast she moves. Armin notices that Mikasa is using too much gas and worries that she will run out of gas soon. Suddenly, Mikasa begins to fall and realizes she is out of gas. She feels despair thinking about how she has lost her only family member. As a Titan approaches her, she recalls the words that the world is cruel, but still feels beautiful as she remembers her moments with Eren. Another Titan appears and Mikasa gives up on her life. She looks at the blade in her hand and sees it as the knife she used to kill the kidnappers in her childhood. She remembers how Eren told her to fight back then, and she rises to face the Titans. She refuses to give up and begins crying, determined to remember Eren and promising herself to live no matter what. Suddenly, the attack Titan appears and strikes the other Titan. Mikasa watches in shock as the Titan begins killing its own kind. She does not understand why a Titan would attack another Titan.